The Epistle of the Foolish African, Chapter 1. Title: The Foolish African by the Foolish African. To the kindred spirits of Africa, dispersed like seeds in the wind across the world, and to those whose roots delve deep into the rich soil of our motherland, to my brethren in diaspora and to all those who dwell in the land of our ancestors, from the bustling cities of Nigeria to the serene landscapes of Eritrea, from the enduring desert of Mali to the enduring beauty of the Congo, grace unto you, and peace, from the one who gives us breath and from our ancestors, whose wisdom endures. I write this epistle as one who bears the moniker of the foolish African, not in self-derision but as a mantle of humility. I reside in the West, amidst the comfort of strangers, yet the heartbeat of Africa pulses within me, syncopated and heavy with the rhythm of unrest. When I call to remembrance the common heritage we share, I thank the spirits of our ancestors, for they have given us a land rich in wisdom, yet we have chosen the path of silence in the face of our own tribulations, as if a spell of folly has been cast upon us. Our continent, replete with the hues of diverse cultures, languages, and beliefs, now bleeds from wounds self-inflicted and those carved by external hands. The drumbeat of Congo's heartache, the silent cries echoing from the sounds of Sudan, the stifled voices in Mali and Eritrea, and the tumult in the streets of Nigeria reach me, and yet, I stand here, distant, a spectator to our shared tragedy. We rallied for causes oceans away, voices loud for Gaza, Palestine, and marched in solidarity with the pain of George Floyd, a brother whose story stirred the global conscience, and rightly so, for his injustice reflected our own suffering. Yet, we falter in our response to the brutality that cast a long shadow over our own land. Yet, the streets of our hometowns remain silent against the brutality that darkens our doorsteps daily. Have we not said, a foolish head weakens the feet? Our collective inaction only serves to cripple our stride towards the future. Corruption festers in the underbelly of our governance, monsters disguised as leaders feasting on our future and the future of our children. Our rights, as ephemeral as morning dew, evaporate before the scorching indifference of those in power. Our wealth, a treasure sought and plundered, lies in the coffers of distant nations, while our people languish in poverty's unyielding grasp, and the ghost of poverty whispers death into the ears of our children. He is a fool who praises the fruit of a tree and forgets its roots. Yet have we not neglected the roots of our own existence in pursuit of a foreign bounty? In the diaspora, we bear the illusion of escape, yet the chains of our shared identity clasp just as tightly. We speak of black pride, of African dignity, yet beneath this cover, we are fractured by the very lines that should bind us, religion, tribe, and ethnicity, dividing us more. Land fools are the greatest fools, so goes the saying, for what is knowledge if it cannot heal our own land and light the way for our brothers and sisters? Somalia, a land divided by clan yet united in advocacy, raised their voices for Palestine, mirroring our continental dissonance. Noble, yes, but does the left hand know what the right hand suffers? Nigeria, my homeland, rides under the weight of sectarian strife and electoral manipulations that leverage our differences rather than our commonalities. The act of choosing leaders is marred by the very tribalism and religion we decry in hushed tones with absolute disregard for the sacred human life. We are like a house ablaze, yet instead of quenching the flames, we hunt for rats amid the smoke. South Africa, too, has not been immune to the irony of our times, championing Palestinian liberation while xenophobia festers like a hidden wound in its streets. The same voices that cry for Palestinian rights is silent against the injustice at their doorsteps and the killing in Congo. It seems we are adept at identifying the speck in our neighbor's eye while ignoring the log in our own. In my reflection, I see the foolish African in the mirror. I reside in the comfort of the West, voicing my fears, yet paralyzed by them, unable to return to the land of my fathers to ignite change. Yet, my foolishness is not in my fear but in my silent acknowledgement that I do not hold all the answers. A wise man never knows all, only fools know everything, but it is in recognizing our ignorance that we begin to learn. For what is wisdom if it does not humble us? What is knowledge if it does not challenge us? Any fool can criticize, condemn, and complain, and most fools do, as Benjamin Franklin observed. And here I stand, culpable of the same, yet inspired by Robert Louis Stevenson's exhortation to embrace the folly of action over the comfort of inaction. For, until you're ready to look foolish, you'll never have the possibility of being great. It is time for us to look foolish then, to the world, perhaps, but not to the ancestors who whisper wisdom through proverbs and dreams. To my brothers and sisters, whose spirits are woven into the fabric of our great continent, I extend my heartfelt call for reflection. We stand at a crossroads, where the paths of past and future diverge, and we must choose with wisdom. We have inherited beliefs and practices from those who came before us, some that have shaped us well, but others that we must dare to question. A child who asks questions does not become a fool. Let us be that child, inquisitive and unyielding in our quest for self-discovery. Let us then be the children who ask, so we may grow wise. For too long, we have clung to teachings without asking if they serve us or bind us. Let us ask why we stand divided, why we prioritize the plight of others over our own, and how we might forge a united front. Our lands are rich with diversity, yet this wealth is tarnished by the scourge of division. We have let the lines of religion and ethnicity become walls between us. In our folly, we have forgotten the ancient wisdom that teaches us, he is a fool who praises the fruit of a tree and forgets its roots. Our roots are not in our differences, but in our shared humanity and heritage. The path forward beckons us to shed the shackles of indoctrination, to unlearn the prejudice that has seeped into our collective consciousness. Christianity and Islam, among other beliefs, faiths delivered to us by foreign hands. While these faiths have their place, we must be wary of how they have been used to chain us rather than uplift us. Those who brought us these religions have advanced, leaving us in their wake, while we turn these teachings against one another. It is as if we have embraced a foolish head that weakens the feet, stumbling on the path to our own progress and remain entrapped in a cycle of conflict and fully surrendered to divine intervention. It is a foolish fly that is buried with a corpse. Shall we remain such flies, or shall we spread our wings toward the promise of renewal? We have prayed to the heavens for salvation, for a respite from the turmoil we face, yet the skies remain silent to our pleas. We wait for a sign, for a savior, but do not see that the power for change lies in our hands. We sit in the shadow of a better tomorrow, hoping for the sun to rise. But hope alone does not break the dawn, it is our actions that bring forth the light. How can we act if we do not know ourselves? How can we unite if we cannot look past the illusions that have been woven around our minds? Learned fools are the greatest fools, for what good is our knowledge if it does not lead us to action? The time for idle hope has passed. We must cease to wait for a savior and instead become the architects of our redemption. Our house burns, and we must be the water to quench the flames. Our divisions run deep, and we must be the balm to heal the rupture. The time has come to shed the veils of indoctrination, to look within and see our biases for what they are, shackles on our collective soul. We are more than the sum of our divisions, we are the children of a land that has birthed kings and queens, warriors, and sages. In Nigeria, where I hail from, and across every inch of our vast homeland, we must rise above the petty conflicts that religion and ethnicity have fomented. A foolish person runs from the rain when the rain has already soaked him through. Let us not run from the truth but face it with the courage of our ancestors. In the spirit of action, let us begin with ourselves. Let each of us embark on a journey of self-discovery, to unlearn the prejudices that have been etched into our psyche. Let us learn to see our neighbor not as a Christian or a Muslim, an Igbo or a Yoruba, a Hoi or a Darud, an Oromo or an Amhara, a Hutu or a Tutsi, but as a fellow African, with dreams and fears just like our own. For as the wise have said, until you're ready to look foolish, you never have the possibility of being great. Let us then be ready to appear foolish to those who cannot yet see the vision of a united Africa, free from the chains of bigotry and strife. Let us dance together, embrace the rhythm of change, for we are all fools in the eyes of the world, until our dance reshapes the very earth we tread. Let our dance be one of unity, of courage, of unwavering love for the land that birthed us. Let us be fools together, fools for Africa, fools for our future. It is time to take back the narrative, to tell our own stories with voices clear and united. We must build a nation, not of disparate peoples, but of one people under the banner of respect and love for our African soul. Our ancestors speak to us through proverbs and through the land itself, urging us to reclaim our heritage, to build nations that reflect our true potential. Let us heed their call, for it is a foolish fly that is buried with a corpse. We will not be the generation that perishes with the old ways, we will be the ones who breathe new life into the soil of Africa. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Let that step be inward, toward the heart, toward the unassailable truth of our shared heritage. Only then can we step outward, together, as a continent reborn, a people united, and a story retold with the strength of our collective voice. In love, solidarity, and hope for the Africa we can create. Regards, the foolish African.